Firstly, I need to say a massive congratulations to you. You have a song at Melfest. Like, how does that feel as a songwriter to know that, one of your songs is on the biggest platforms in Sweden?
Uh, I'm very thankful to be in the competition. It's been I've done music since I was a kid, but for the last few years I've been only writing for me as an artist. So it feels really good to actually write music for someone else, and she's gonna do it amazing. So I can't wait to see it on Saturday.
And obviously, Klara's performing, but you obviously must still feel the nerves.
um, the only thing that's a little bit hard this year is that you can't really be involved as much as you would be if there wasn't COVID. So we're not allowed to be there.
Really?
We're not. I can't really do much about the performance and everything around. As a songwriter, you write the song, and then you leave the process to everyone else in the production. So I would say SVT are the ones who are really like doing the whole show. And then I saw the close last week for the first time, and I was not involved in choosing that as well. So yeah. I just did the song, and then everything else is up to all the different teams, but there are professionals. So
you can relax. You've done the hard part for you now.
I know, and that's why it would be so amazing to be a part of this tour, because then I could just I can just relax and have a good time and enjoy it. And now instead, there's no tour, there's no party. It's only the competition. So it's really just like the momentum of the competition is so much bigger this year because there's nothing around it. It's just like there's no party anymore. It's only a competition, and that's crazy fun part.
Obviously, the viewing figures for the first two semi-finals have been released, and it is, obviously the most watched show of the year. So I think you're really going to have the television audience, which the performers need to connect with, which is an added challenge because they're not feeding off the crowd and the sort of live atmosphere. So yeah, it's a very strange year, but it's exciting all the same.
Nice. Yeah.
So was the track a result of like a sort of songwriting camp? Because I know obviously there's quite a lot of sort of songwriting camps for Melfest, and was that the product of that?
Actually not. The story behind this song is actually when I wrote it together with the other guys, I thought I was gonna sing it. So in the beginning, it was really my song, and it's actually my story in this song. So I was born with a heart disease. My blood was going in the wrong direction, and I've done 2 heart surgeries in my life. So I've been writing a lot of music about my heart, and the heart. People can relate to the heart in so many different ways. I even have hearts, like I have one heart on my wall right there. I have another heart here. I have so many hearts in my home.
Yeah.
And so the heart has always been a big part for me. So Beat of Broken Hearts is like something that I can relate to on a personal level, where it's like, oh, my heart is actually broken because I've been through 2 heart surgeries. But for everyone else, it's so relatable. And for Klara, she really made her interpretation of the song and the lyrics, and I love that. So it started to be a song that I thought I was going to do, but actually just a few days after we wrote it, I was like, this is not my song. If we want to have this for Mello, let's find another artist who want to do it. And Klara was really excited. So I'm super happy that she's doing this. And after that, we changed it a lot in the production. If you compare it to what it sounded like when I did it, it was very simple and clean. Now it's more of a pop.
And do you think your version will ever see the light of day?
What?
Do you think your version will ever be released?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I can show that on like my socials, just like, oh, this is what it sounded like. Maybe I should do that when the song is out, just to show the process of making the song, because it was very minimalistic when I did it. It was basically me and the piano.
Oh, right.
And I'm just singing my heart out. And her song, if you compared my version started with the piano, and her song starts with a beat instead. So it's very different.
And obviously you mentioned kind of writing the song with yourself in mind to start with. If you were writing that track for another artist, would your whole approach to songwriting change, or do you kind of have the same approach if you're writing a song for yourself or a song for another artist?
I think the difference is you have to really listen to the artist that you write for and that you do this for. In this process, we had the song was done. So when Klara was approached, we just had to change it to make it hers in the production. But the song was already there. But when I write for myself, I think I'm like, it has to be perfect for me. And when I do it for someone else, I can step out of the bubble and be like, okay, maybe I wouldn't do it exactly this way, but if this is what you want to do, let's do it. So I'm more relaxed when you do it with other people, and I want to listen to what they have to say.
Yeah. And is there slightly less pressure when it's a collaborative writing experience, because you know that you've got so many different ideas, whereas, you know, if you're writing for yourself, it may just be you and it's all on you in a sense?
Yeah. You really have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, and you really have to practice to collaborate if you're more people in the room. I would say the guys I wrote it with, me and Fredrik, was really like, we were by the piano and just like writing the melodies and stuff like that, and the other guys were just sitting like by the computer and doing their shit. So it was everyone find their way to do the song. I would say the whole concept of the song would never exist if I wouldn't plant that image in everyone's mind. So that's the beauty of it all. It really became something personal that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, I like that idea that it has such a personal meaning to yourself, but also a kind of widespread message that everyone will relate to. The hard part about this is just waiting to hear the tracks, because obviously everyone is so secretive and kind of guarded about their songs until they're performed. So it is tough waiting and to kind of talk about songs that you've not heard. But I'm sure it'll be a big moment, and I'm really excited for the performance. Have you?
I have not even seen it. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in the same boat as everyone else. You're just kind of waiting to hear this.
Actually, we are, because we haven't been there. So today I just talked to Fredrik on the phone just an hour ago. I called you, and he was like, yeah, hopefully we're going to get some kind of like behind the scenes material so we know what it looks like. But I talked to Klara last week, and she's going to have like a backdrop, and she had not even seen what that looked like a week ago. So everyone is just like waiting to get the different pieces together. So it's more fragile than you think. It's like, we don't know. Yeah.
And I think when it's such a massive thing, you know, you've got someone speaking from the UK about it. It really has just become such a spectacle around the world for Eurovision fans. And you know, everyone looks to Sweden as like the kind of, that's how you do it. So to think that a lot of people still don't really maybe know how their performance is going to completely look, it's quite scary to think that. But obviously, have you tuned into the first two semi-finals?
Yeah, of course.
And have there been any standouts for you? Anyone that you think that was great?
I think it's very obvious that this is the year where the audience want the big names. That's what it looks like. So it feels like it's going to be a final filled with everyone that's already been in the final, basically. Yeah. And maybe that's what's going to happen in this. I think the third semifinal is super hard to see the outcome of. I haven't heard any other songs, but yeah, it's going to be super interesting. But yeah, I've enjoyed the show. I think last week was a fun show. I think the hosts were amazing. I think Oscar Hannes did an amazing job. So yeah.
And I quite like the idea of different hosts each week. It's giving it a really kind of different flavor every week. So it's nice that they've done it that way. And obviously you've got Klara to look forward to. Is there anyone that you're kind of also looking forward to watching in semi-final 3 or 4?
It's going to be dope to see what Tusse is doing on Saturday, because I haven't heard that song. But we're on the same music label. He's also signed to Universal Music, where I am, and where I'm releasing my personal music. And I've heard the rumor that it's going to be a dope song. So I think he's going to have tough competition on Saturday.
Well, I should also say a massive congratulations to you for signing with Universal. And obviously you're someone that's released kind of independent music before that. What are the kind of main differences working as an independent artist and then with a major big label?
I'm so thankful that I've been able to be in both worlds, because it's such a big difference when it comes to the team. I've basically been alone in my independent releasing. Even if I have my like people that I write music with and stuff like that, it's been, I love the way of like creating something together. So I kind of like when people are talking like, because I've been so used to be like, I can just do exactly what I want to do, like for the last few years. And now when someone's like, because we shot a cover for my new song, and my A&R was like, no, I don't think that's the one. And I was like, you don't think so? And he was like, no.
What?
And I was like, let's redo it. And then so it was just like a day before we are going to send it into to the release section. So I love that people come with their ideas, but I'm still able to do exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy about that. But I love the team thing. It's good. Before I was signed to you for music, I did everything myself. I shot my covers. I produced my music videos. I wrote my music. I styled myself. I was setting up the team for the tour. I did everything. So and I'm kind of happy that I have more people on the team now.
Yeah, you can kind of sit back slightly.
A little bit.
So obviously thinking back to Somebody to Love, that was such a kind of a great moment for you. You know, standing as like kind of your first big label single. Were you pleased with the response to the track?
No, I'm super happy. It feels like it's such an amazing feeling to be, I'm so relaxed in my way of releasing music. I can feel, because I have so much going on in my life, and it feels so good to just like take a step back and release the things that I'm proud of, and just like enjoy the ride. And that's what I feel for my next song as well. I'm releasing my next single on, I haven't told anyone, on March 12th. And it's so it's in the mellow times. And that's going to be a very personal song. And I'm looking forward to that.
Can you give us like any indication of what the title or the themes or the sound? I'm being nosy now.
It's called Square One, and it's about it's actually my most transparent song I've ever released, and it's about the fact that you can be with someone and then suddenly you're back at square one, like everything you thought you built up is gone. And so it's me actually pouring my heart out in a way I've never done before. So we keep focused on the heart thing, and my heartbeat is in that song as well. Like I put it in every song I do now. That will be my signature.
You're going to need to have to call the album something to do with your heart as well. Heart songs.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I've been writing music from my heart for the last few years. So this has been an idea that I've had for a long time. And I've been doing a lot of heart songs with a lot of mellow writers. I did one song with Linnea Deb and Joy Deb. That's called, can I talk? I don't know if I can talk about unreleased songs.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't have to say the title, but we did a song that was also, that was like 3 years ago. That was one of the first time I actually recorded my heartbeat. I have a titanium heart, so it sounds like this basically. And that's why it's possible to record it. So I've done that for a few years, and it's just, I'm going to continue that journey.
Yeah. So Square One, would you describe that as kind of up-tempo or quite dramatic or
this is me and the piano singing my heart out. So it's so I think it's the most I think it's the most clean song I've ever done. It's just my vocals basically.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Thinking back even further, obviously your debut album, Season 1, Episode 1 to 14, again, it still holds up really, really well. Is that a kind of album that you revisit yourself? Do you ever kind of think, oh, well, I quite fancy hearing these songs again?
What do you mean? If I listen to them myself? No.
I mean, would you go back and listen to your own music, or is that just a bit kind of like, it's like your own Instagram photo?
it's always it's a weird thing doing that. I don't know if any artist, like, it's not like I walk around listen to my music, but it was really a part of my life where I like, that album is me telling a story. So I'm happy that I was able to do that. Like, most people don't even release albums anymore. So for me to do that as an independent artist was such an important thing for me to do. And that makes me so happy that even if I still feel like I'm a new artist, I have a catalog. And that's amazing, because that means whenever you can go out on tour again, I will have 25 songs to sing. So I have a lot of material. And I have a lot of unreleased material for you guys to hear. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I still think there's a lot of kind of value in albums. There's something quite satisfying about putting something on, listening to it from start to finish in the order that it's been put. So going forward, do you think, is the kind of larger goal like an EP or an album, or just kind of release singles and see how they do?
I really have a perspective of releasing some kind of concept this year as well. But that's the part where I'm leaning back a little bit. I know what my vision is, but I listen to all the people around me and I'm like, hey, what do you guys think? I have my stories, I have my music, and then it's just about the structure. So that's what people probably think it's a bad thing, signing with a label. But I honestly feel in this part of my life, it's a beautiful thing, because I'm able to see a bigger perspective. And I like that.
Cool. So obviously I need to mention, recently you performed with royalty, with Corolla.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was part of the Speak Up sessions at the Hillsong Church. So is that quite a daunting experience when you are paired with someone who is, such a kind of esteemed figure in the Swedish music industry? Or do you just kind of have to take it as it comes and just go for it and enjoy the experience?
I love people. I love, this is the beauty of being in this business, because you meet so many people. And that's the sad part of not being like physically at Mello this year, because I would love to hang out with all these beautiful people. So no, I love that. I love being in rooms with people I've never met, or people I've just like talked to briefly. So this is, I really enjoyed this conversation with you. So
Thank you.
I just love people. I just love people.
Well, no, it was really enjoyable to kind of see the clips from that. And obviously I saw that you performed a gig this week as well. Was that, I mean, how was that, getting back on stage in 2021 after, I don't know how things have been in Sweden, but there's pretty much been no live music in the UK this year or last year.
And it was beautiful. It's to be on stage is something I miss so much. So of course it's been I don't think there's anyone in this business who've had like a brilliant year when it comes to that. So the only thing you can do is making these digital gigs. So.
Yeah. And fingers crossed, as 2021 goes on, that things will kind of ease and you'll get back on stage and you'll get back to gigs, and please. So kind of going forward, obviously we've kind of spoken about Beat of Broken Hearts and potentially being your track initially, before it kind of morphed into Klara's. Do you have goals of being on that Melodifestivalen stage yourself in the coming years, or are you quite happy to keep writing?
Could you see me there?
Of course.
I would say in one way, I feel like I really would enjoy the journey of being there, because I love to just go all in. And it's if I write a song that I feel is completely in contact with what I would want to do, and it would be the right thing to do. But for example, this song, as Beat of Broken Hearts, it wasn't the song. So even if like people are like, what? It's in the competition, but you're not gonna sing it. Don't you feel bad that you could have done it? And I'm like, no, that wasn't the song for me. So I don't feel that at all. It has to be something that I can feel like this is me 100%. And I really think that's a song that will be a part of Klara's portfolio perfectly. That's her song. She was the one who was going to do that. So we'll see. It's I think the importance is for me to just write music, and if I feel like that's the right place for it, then that's the right place. But I don't think I would sit down and write a song for that certain specific purpose. But I think that's the beauty of it, because it has to be great music. That's what it's all about.
Just to kind of wrap things up, I would love to hear some of your favorite Eurovision songs, whether Swedish or international. What are the Eurovision songs for you?
I I'm the basic. I'm the basic thing, Euphoria. But that is amazing. And I have such a funny story about the night. It's not even funny, it's sad about the night when you won Eurovision. Because in my family, my dad is a big Eurovision fan as well. And my family, it's always a vibe in our family. Of course, we watch it. And I had my prom on the night when she won. And so I was actually close to canceling my prom. I didn't want to go. I was like, dude, she's going to win Eurovision. I don't want to miss this moment. I said that for weeks before the prom. And all of my friends were like, no, you can't miss the prom. The prom is the thing. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. I'm like, yeah, well, we've been waiting for Sweden to win Eurovision as well. And they were like, no, if you're going to miss our prom, you're going to regret that for your entire life. And I was like, if I miss Eurovision, I'm going to regret that for my entire life. But they convinced me. So I went to the prom and I told my closest friends that they were not allowed to watch Eurovision that night. So they were all like being on, like, they didn't listen to anything, they didn't see anything. And we recorded it. And the plan was to the day after have a Eurovision vibe at my place and watch it together and don't have a clue who was going to win. But it wasn't that easy, because when we won, and like the whole night I was like, no one's going to tell me about the result. If anyone get like a hint of what's happening, don't tell me. And then like it was probably 1 in the morning, someone screamed like, we won. and my first response is I'm not even happy, because I didn't want to know, you know what I mean? I was like, no, don't tell me, I don't want to know this. So that was actually sentimental for me, because I wanted to live that moment, but I never had the chance to.
So the moral of the story is don't go to prom, watch Eurovision.
Never. Always watch Eurovision. That's my number one tip.
Well, that's a nice message to put out to the world. Always watch Eurovision. Ignore the other 364 days of the year. Focus on Eurovision. Well, it's been so nice talking to you, and I'm so excited to see how Klara's performance turns out, and for Square One, and all the exciting things that you've got coming up for us in 2021. So again, massive thank you to you.
Thank you, man. This has been fun. I'll see you soon.